Welcome everyone! Today we'll take a look at an amazing attacking game by current world champion Ding Liren. Trust me, you'll remember this game once you've seen it. This was played in the Chinese Team Championship in 2017, and his opponent with the white pieces was Jinshi Bai. Let's just jump right in. White opened with d4, knight of 6, c4, e6, and after knight to c3, bishop to b4, we have the Nimzo-Indian defense. It continued knight to f3. Here Ding could have played d5 to transpose in the Rogozin variation of the Queen's Gambit, but he stayed in Nimzo territory with castles. Bishop to g5. c5, black wants to trade a flank pawn for white's center pawn. White played e3. Ding took on d4. Queen takes d4 was played. Knight to c6, developing with a tempo on the queen. Queen to d3. h6, forcing the bishop to make a decision. Bishop to h4, and now black played d5, trying to open the position when the white king isn't safe yet. Here white played rook to d1. This is aimed against black playing pawn to e5. White would just like to develop with bishop to e2, but then black has e5, and if white tries to win the weak d-pawn with pawn takes d5, then e4 just wins material. Therefore, rook to d1 was played, stopping black's e5 plan for now, and here followed an aggressive move, g5. Ding breaks the pin, so he can use the knight and the queen. It does weaken the king's side, of course, but it's a give and take. Bishop to g3. Knight to e4, putting extra pressure on the knight. But after knight to d2, breaking the pin on the c-knight, but also hoping to get rid of black's strong knight, Ding went knight to c5. Simply trading on c3 would make things easier for white, and also black wins a tempo on the white queen. Queen to c2. Now, d4, again trying to open the position when the king isn't safe yet and when white is less developed. White went knight to f3 here. He cannot go pawn takes d4 because black will take, attacking the queen, and after queen to c1 he can go e5, gaining more space and opening the bishop. White would be in big trouble here. That's why knight to f3 was played. And now Ding went e5, which invites a lot of complications. White decided to take with the knight, and after the game, Ding actually gave a really long line in case white would have taken with the bishop. In case white would have captured with the bishop, Ding calculated the following line. Knight takes bishop, knight takes, rook to e8, activating the rook with a tempo on the knight. Knight to f3. Now bishop to f5, deflecting the queen. After queen takes bishop, pawn takes c3, allowing white to take the queen, but there is a discovered check in the air after c2. Now after white does take the queen, then as planned, c2 check, king to e2, c1 equals queen, so black gets a new queen. Knight to e5, attacking f7, but then black has a nice save with queen takes b2 check, king to f3, and queen takes knight, which hangs the queen since the rook on e8 is pinned, but all of this is still correct according to the engines. White takes that, rook takes rook on d8. Now black has won a rook and a knight for the queen. The queen is attacked, so it ducked to b2. a5 defends the bishop, a3, but now there would be a perpetual check after this. Rook to d2, queen a1, the queen has to hide again, and now knight to e4, preparing a check on f2, and after pawn takes bishop, black forces a draw like this. Rook f2 check, king g4, knight f6 check, king to g3, knight e4, and a draw. So pretty amazing that Ding saw all of that at the board and he knew he was still safe after e5. But white went for the other recapture, knight takes e5. Pawn takes knight was played. Again, Ding allows the queen to be taken, which did happen, but he gets compensation after pawn takes b2 check. But it turned out that Ding got more than compensation since white messed up here. He still would have been okay after rook to d2, but instead he went king to e2, and now Ding got a deadly attack. Watch. First he captured the rook, queen takes b2, then knight to a4, attacking the queen, but also planning knight c3 check, queen to c2, knight c3 check. Black's piece mobility is just excellent, which is Black's biggest strength right now. The king fled to f3, and now a great move, rook to d4. Now if white takes that, he'll lose the queen after knight d4 check, and meanwhile you can see that the rook also boxes in the king behind the fourth rank. White tried h3, but then h5. Ding doesn't let white rest, now g4 check is threatened. Bishop h2, allowing king to g3. g4 check anyway. King to g3. Now there is no knight takes d4 check anymore, so the rook on d4 is now hanging. Therefore, rook to d2. Another great move, Ding just seemingly hangs it again. But of course, after queen takes rook, there would be knight e4 check, king to h4, and knight takes queen, and white drops the queen again. Therefore, queen to b3. The queen is a bit sidelined now as well. It continued with knight e4 check, king to h4. He couldn't play king to f4 because it's actually checkmate. Black plays rook f2 check, king takes e4, bishop f5 check, king to d5, and after rook d8 check, white can only give away his pieces to delay checkmate. That's why king to h4, but the attack continued with bishop e7 check, king takes h5, king to g7, covering the only flight square the king had left. Bishop f4 was played, intending bishop h6. Bishop f5, allowing the rook to join in. Bishop h6 check, king h7. Queen takes b7. White just dove in to win a pawn, also threatening the rook. But white is completely lost here. Ding didn't even bother protecting the rook. He played another great move, rook takes f2. Now he's threatening with knight to g3, which is checkmate. White tried bishop to g5, giving h4 to the king. But now the other rook joined in, rook to h8, and mate is unstoppable. White went knight takes f7, but after bishop g6 check, king takes pawn, Ding played knight e5 check, and with the king surrounded by black pieces, white decided to resign the game. Mate could have followed after knight takes knight, bishop f5 check, king to h5, king g7 check, and after bishop to h6 only move, it's mate after rook takes bishop checkmate. Now that was just an awesome attacking masterpiece by Ding Liren. Ever since he became world champion last year, unfortunately, Ding hasn't been able to show his amazing chess skills, so I thought it would be fair to remind everyone what a great player he actually is. Now let's find out what happens in the World Championship match, which as I record is actually ongoing. I at the very least hope we'll see Ding's true self. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this game too. If you did, please like and subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching Chess Student and take care.